is the story of a trophy for the world, a journey, a dream.
Hello, viewers out there. Like we say, thank God it's Friday. You're welcome to Sports Orbit, reaching you from Leadership TV. My name is Afa Acho. Salifu is right here with me to continue, the build up to the World Cup. But today will be slightly different as we'll give you proper preview of the first match of the World Cup in Qatar 2022 and other stories as it relates to the World Cup. Salifu, welcome to our special coverage of Qatar 2022.
Thank you, Alpha. It's always my pleasure.
Right, like I said at the beginning of this show, we'll be giving you a preview, and first match will be host who will be up against South American representative Ecuador. The first match will take place at the Al Bayt Stadium on Sunday afternoon as hosts Qatar lock horns with Ecuador in Group A. Uh, of course, Felix Sanchez's logo. Felix Sanchez, Bar's men are competing on the biggest international stage for the first time in their history, while the South American nation make their return to the World Cup finals after an 8-year absence. Of course, Qatar, like we have told you earlier in the week, are in the same group with Senegal, who are champions of Africa, Netherlands, and of course, Ecuador are also in this group. Recall that for Qatar, since October, they are yet to lose any game they played in, of which they had played Guatemala, Honduras, Panama, and most recently Albania. And surprisingly, Qatar have defeated all these teams. On the other hand, Sanchez Bar side are aiming to avoid being just the second World Cup host to fail to make it out of the group. Such a fate befell South Africa in 2010, but victory here will also see Qatar make history as the only Asian Federation nation to win their first ever World Cup showdown. For Ecuador, they appeared at 3 editions at the competition, that is in 2002, 2006, and 2014. But they have only once have they progressed beyond the group stages, being eliminated in the last 16 years ago, which also represent the sole time that they have won their first match of the tournament. So Salifu, going into this first game, these two sides, um, not prolific football play nations, if you ask me, not the kind of a match that some people will be looking for to, begin the World Cup. But I mean, no disrespect to it, it's the first game of the competition. Qatar playing at home against Ecuador in this one. What do you expect from this first game of the encounter?
Yeah, Alpha, it's going to be an interesting encounter. Although, yes, just like you say, not much people, football enthusiasts will be keenly interested on the outcome of this match. But the fact that it will kickstart the World Cup, it will make it a very an interesting game. It clearly shows that the World Cup we have all been waiting for years is finally here with us. And definitely the two sides, if you want, they say, as we normally say in our local parlance, they say good weekend start from Friday.
Yeah.
And to test, to show that if you are ready to do the World Cup and what you are likely, so you have to see what you are going to put in place in the first opening match.
Yeah.
So for these two sides, it's definitely going to be an interesting encounter. All the team will definitely want to win. And if you go into down memory lane in the history, since 2006 when Germany hosted the World Cup, since ever then, no hosting nation have lost the opening match.
Yeah.
But this could be tested on Sunday. And if you look at the South American side, Ecuador are one of the most scoring side. If you look at the South American qualifier, apart from Brazil, who score more goal than it's only Brazil that score more goal than Ecuador in their qualifier series. So definitely, Felician's sides will definitely going to face a whole lot of hunger against the Ecuador. But with the home ground, with the full fans behind him, the Qatar, and be their first ever World Cup, they are just having this privilege of playing the World Cup because they are hosting.
Yeah.
So it will be it will always be difficult for Qatar to qualify, to go through the qualifying process and take a ticket to get to the World Cup. But for the advantage they are hosting, making them that they are going to make their first ever appearance at the World Cup. So definitely all the Qatar citizens, everybody want to see that this is our best moment. It could be our last chance. This is our first chance, but I pray it's not going to be their last chance to play at the World Cup. But they definitely want to make it count. Qatar have spent a whole lot of money to put this World Cup together, and they will not want just to put it together and for just to within the elimination to just stay back and watch other nations coming to play to show. So definitely Qatar want to be active and to participate to be member of the World Cup till the end. So the opening match will be an interesting show for every side and every fan of football.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the previous form of the two teams for Qatar is being out of 6 games played in the last 6 games, they've lost once, drew once, and won 4 straight, going on a 4-match winning streak. For Ecuador, on the other hand, they've won 2 and 3 have been draws. Looking at this trend, like you rightly said, for Qatar, home advantage. And in the last 4 games that Qatar have played, the teams that incidentally they defeated are teams around that region, with the likes of Guatemala, Honduras, Panama, and Albania. Does it show that Qatar have, a bit of some players? Because yes, one might say these teams are not really teams you can say are really top opposition when it comes to the game of football, but going on a 4-match winning streak, then coming up against an Ecuador, this should be some sort of confidence booster for the Qataris.
Yeah, if you are playing a World Cup or if you are playing a match, you are maintaining a winning streak. Not minding this the strength of the opponent you are playing with, it gives you courage that yes, you are doing well, because you only feel that you are not doing well when you lose the match. But as far as you keep winning, it gives you a morale boost. It gives you that you are in the right frame of mind, you are in the right positions going forward. So if you are playing 6 matches straight and you are not testing the defeat, and you're in this match, so it gives you an additional motivation that yes, we have everything, we have the tactic, we have everything we do. But the question other experts would like to ask, what is the strength of this population?
Yeah.
Playing the Guatemala,
Panama, Honduras,
and all these are just all within the Asia, within the region.
Yeah.
But is any of these oppositions have the strength of Ecuador? If you're looking at the Ecuador, just as I told you earlier, apart from Brazil, who score more goal than them in the South American qualifier, it's not even Argentina score more goal than them. So they are very an attacking side. That is what it clearly shows. And so if you look at the Ecuador in their last 6 months, Ecuador has maintained clean sheet without even conceding a goal. That means both in attacking and in the defense they are very solid.
All right, we'll continue with this analysis when we come back from this break. Don't go nowhere.
For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.
Sports Orbit. We make the world go round. Sports Orbit. We make the world go round.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placement.
Sports Orbit. We make the world go round.
All right, welcome back from that break. It's still Sports Orbit now. We were still previewing the first match of the Qatar 2022 World Cup. For Qatar, getting all 3 points in this encounter will be very important because they know that as host, if they manage to, scale this Ecuadorian hurdle, put 3 points in the bag, they can begin to smile. They know that all they'll need to be fighting for will just be another 3 points, and depending how things may pan out in other matches, maybe just a point. Sometimes if they are lucky enough, might take them to the next round. But Qatar, I'm sure, will want to go all out to ensure that at least they ensure that they put 3 points in the bag.
Yeah, that will definitely make the game very interesting. Not only Qatar, even the Ecuador also want to go out because remember we're in a group that has Senegal and Netherlands, and
who are favorites to make it out of the group.
Favorites to make out of the group, with no disrespect to Qatar, with no disrespect to Ecuador. So these two sides will look at them themselves. Well, this is the first match, and we must win this match. If we don't win this match, that means we are going to be in big trouble. So definitely, this first match, the first 3 points is very key. No team, and I'm going to see that match tomorrow on Sunday. That the two sides will approach the match with a lot of conscience. Not want to lose, but win as much as you want to go forward to win, to score goal. You want to be conscious, not to be caught napping. On the Qatar. So definitely the two sides will going to play the game very on a conscious move. And just like the first match, the first result is very key for this other side of the team. These two sides I don't know, they have never met at any level. This is the first match, they are going to meet. So definitely you will not have a detail about each other.
Exactly.
What you will have is just you will have the privilege of watching the videos and have the statistic of other things, the statistic of their match, their play to another. But against each other, we have never have the privilege to know how they play the game. So the two sides definitely come to this match with on a very conscious move. And just as these two men, both Ecuador, not only Qatar, both Ecuador and Qatar, will definitely want to start on the winning note. But the host, being the host, the Ecuadors are will be very, very careful that yes, we are going to play behind a very serious crowd. No matter the number of the size of the Ecuador that came from South America to come here, they cannot match the numbers of the Qatar who will be on ground. So then you are going to play against 12 players. That is plus the fans. Because the Qatar being their first man, no matter how, they will be well mobilized and they want to come out in their large number to fill the stadium behind their team. And so, and just like say, if you know their next match, we are going to play Ecuador, and then you have Netherlands, Senegal to contest. So you want to make best use of this match, and that will make the game very, very tight and very close, very interesting side team to watch.
Right, like we do every time we preview a match here. Any prediction for this first encounter? Who do you think will, make it count in this first match?
Honestly, I can't really say who is likely to win. If you're looking at it on the paper, you intend to go with Ecuador because being that Ecuador has been a regular fixtures at the World Cup. World Cup.
Been there in the past three times.
Compared to Qatar, who are just making them. So Qatar is generally inexperienced at how World Cup is being played. But they are going to play at their home ground. And since Qatar, if you look at Qatar, and since Qatar was awarded this hosting right, Qatar have tried to play in every major championship in that region. And most of the championships they have participated, they have never been disappointed. So definitely it's going to be a very match game. But if you look at the strengths and the size of the individual player that are on the other side, Ecuador will have some upper hand. But at the end of the day, in the first 90 minutes, I see the best who play well will match winner.
All right, that. So that match comes up on Sunday, and we will be keeping an eye on it. And of course, we'll give you updates as it comes. Away from that, now quickly.
Before you go to the way from that, very interesting scenarios is being played out at this World Cup. And if you look at this World Cup, a whole lot of things, even right from the one, when Qatar was awarded this first right, a lot of it has been
controversy.
Has been controversy.
Yeah.
Even the process of the awarding the tournament to Qatar was in controversy. So a lot of things have been under serious contention.
Yeah.
Not let us not even go to the areas of the Qatar human rights
record and all of
record and all of that. And now, if you know, yes, selling of beers. BS manufacturer has always been a close allies of FIFA.
Yeah.
They are one of their biggest sponsors and biggest partners. And now, except we are still expecting the last news to come out from what we are hearing now, the Qatar is pushing seriously to ban the sale of beer within the stadium. So they will only restrict that one that you want to take a beer, you get your rope. But within the streets and within the stadium is exclusively Qatar is really pushing the program, and that may going to cost FIFA a whole lot of damage.
And sorry not to cut you. You see, in awarding this, that's why it's now that the thing has dawned on so many of them, because in awarding this right, they didn't put a lot of these things into consideration. But now it's becoming clear that look, without these guys, the kind of money we make in previous World Cups, we might not make as much money from. So yeah, we might make money from ticket sales, other advertisers, but we all know these brands, these alcoholic brands. Some of them are the biggest sponsors of FIFA, and when it comes to the World Cup, so revenue on that aspect will be depleted in no small measure.
Yeah, just like you say, from what we are going to see that it may going to amount that it's going to cost FIFA. Meanwhile, that can be found absolutely unbeatable. But in a section from the restrictions on alcohol for just after that, we restricted almost about 9,000 million, not 9,000 million pounds.
Yeah.
That is going to Qatar, FIFA is going to suffer.
Exactly.
And the Bushabas who are the manufacturers of beers has been a very close allies and a close partners of FIFA. And in any way you go, and that is why, for this, and apart from if you, for this, and the likes of the Hennekes and all those things, are able to want to carry around to
very well.
And now they are banning their product from the sale within the stadium, and that will also mean, I don't know, unless we are waiting for the final pronouncement. I don't know. God, if you ban it, definitely even displaying of their logo may be going contrary to the Qatar construction. Because if you are displaying a logo within the stadium, within the Qatar, you are promoting BS. I don't think a country that is exclusive about Islamic affair would definitely want that. Before now, there was an agreement that the sale of BS will be allowed within the stadium. But now, just 2 days ago,
today, the
Qatar authorities are pushing hard. And from the way he looks like now, they may have their way.
Yeah, I agree. Well, we'll see how that pans out. See what happens between today and tomorrow, if there'll be any new development. Of course, some World Cup international matches have been going on. A few of them were played yesterday. Of course, notably, they won Nigeria versus Portugal. Unfortunately, some Nigerians have said that, well, thank God it's good news that Nigeria are not even going to the World Cup, because some are already saying that it would have been an embarrassment. I watched that game, a bit of that match yesterday, 4-0 against Portugal. And after the match, I listened to Pesero's statement, all kinds of excuses. For me, maybe it might still be too early to judge. I'm beginning to feel maybe Gennaro draw is even better than Pesero after all, because this man has been, apart from the game we won against some minnows, all the proper teams we've come against, we've lost. And Pesero is always making excuses how the team played well. I was listening to the interview after trying to make sense of it, but I really couldn't make sense of what he was saying after the match.
What else? What time do you need more to be giving somebody?
And not that we use home base, we use our top
when you are
stars.
still talking that maybe it's too early to judge. I don't think anything is too early.
Exactly.
He was appointed in May.
Yeah.
Yes, you can make yourself. One may say, okay, between May and just 6 months. No, it's not too early.
But this how many games now?
That's what I'm coming to. They say, okay, between May and just too early. But now look at the number of matches he has played.
Yeah.
He has played five. Let's say no was the fifth friendly match. In all these fifth friendly matches, he lose all.
Exactly.
He lose all. And if you're looking at that match yesterday, not that we lose this catastrophe,
Exactly.
but there was not even any clear chance that there was not even any clear indication that the Portugal were even playing against a team.
Exactly.
It was
A mere training session.
mere training session for Portugal.
Very well.
And the Portugal is even on the same size of the Portugal.
Yeah. Very well.
And for we to play that match that yesterday, it clearly showed, like somebody was telling us, and just like you say in the statement, that people, a lot of people say, thank God it is not we didn't qualify for World Cup. Somebody was jokingly saying in the news yesterday that this is our first opening match in the World Cup and we are losing 4-0. And you cannot imagine if we have qualified for World Cup.
Yeah.
Tell me, out of the whole team that plays today, the only person that was missing that team was Osimhen.
Yeah.
Every other person that we have wanted to take to the World Cup are all present in that team yesterday. But unfortunately, there's no coordination. There's no any sign that somebody is in charge of this team.
Yeah. It was really
And I think if the Nigerian football, Ibrahim Gusau, who is the president of Nigerian Football Federation, is too. If you don't want to go the way Penny go, and if you don't want to have it rough against Nigeria,
this month's appointment needs to be reviewed.
Peseiro appointment should be terminated immediately. We don't need this kind of coach. But if you look at just like say, since he appointed his man, he has played 5 friendly matches. Yeah. And the only match we won, competitive matches, and the competitive match was against who?
Again, that's what I'm saying.
Satoma and
Prisma. Exactly.
Satoma and Prisma can bet you leadership first level can beat Satoma and Principe. And then is this Selaron we're talking about? Yeah. That will say even the Selaron that came here was strong to beat Selaron 2-0.
Very well.
At the Abuja National Stadium. So I think it is good that this early signing is coming.
Yeah.
But when early signing is so, it's really that you need to prepare, and it is thank God they have not even paid him any salary. If they have not paid him, that they should build that opportunity, let him just carry him back and go. Because when they were appointing this guy, we said it. We all said, I say, look at this man, looking at this man's CV.
Exactly.
And his record. He didn't show any clear indication that this is the penny we need.
Yes. And look at the countries he was coaching.
The coaches
this were not even exactly struggling to win.
I'm not top class coaches, and I'm just
exactly.
even the Colombia, Venezuela, sorry, Venezuela that he lost his job at company. That he working for Venezuela for 11 months and they don't pay. You shouldn't be surprised that Venezuela not paying for 11 months. I can pay how will I pay someone who is not giving any result?
It's really a sad one. Well, for the Super
so had it been
if
you have what have happened if Portugal play with their full strength?
That would have been a complete disaster. I mean, like Salif rightly said, I think the NFF really needs to look again. We all saw the intrigue that even went down before his appointment. A lot of coaches have shown interest, top coaches in coaching this team. But Pinnick has insisted in person we won.
That he was recommended to him by Murillo.
Exactly.
How can Murillo recommend such a question?
And it's been terrible. I mean, he's reigned early stages, yes, but I don't think if in 5 matches against good quality opposition,
a coach that play 5 matches without even draw one,
I mean,
doesn't need to keep his job.
At all.
Let's be frank about it. That play, yes, you may say it's different. Oh, 5 matches, 5 solid matches against the top, not even the top opposition.
Even Nigerian coaches won't perform this badly.
I don't think so.
Exactly.
Even the side coach Salif Yusuf that we able to give Salif Yusuf to handle the team.
Yeah.
Salif Yusuf, I believe, no matter even as long as I don't believe him.
Yeah.
Should be.
Maybe we'll record maybe 2 draws out of this.
Because we can't play. If you look at the opposition we have been playing, apart, remember the same Ecuador beat us.
Yeah.
The same Ecuador we're just talking about beat Nigeria 2-0.
Yeah, exactly.
We lost to Mexico.
Yeah.
And apart from Portugal, to relatives, I don't say was one of the top ranked football in the world that we play yesterday. Most of all those friendly matches we also are all those average teams.
Very average teams.
Average international team, but yet we still lose all the matches.
It's very terrible. Anyway,
if they don't want us to continue to lament and Nigeria to lose over our football, because that is the only thing that has kept this country united. It's only a football that way football is playing that nobody care about. It's only a football match that we can have 2 brothers. If we even bring a whole family to play for Nigeria, and they are doing nobody complains, why are you using the one family to play? That is the only thing when Nigeria will see that they are everybody outside everybody suddenly become Nigeria when it comes to football. So we shouldn't any way that we jeopardize that unity. We shouldn't play with it. and it is early to let this man go.
All right, you heard all from Salifu. Well, World Cup starts in 2 days' time. Qatar will be giving you updates as they come. First match, host Qatar against Ecuador. Hopefully on Monday, we'll give you a review and also preview other matches as they come in the World Cup. Anyway, that's our package for today and this weekend. Salifu, thank you for being in the studio today and the whole of this week for our World Cup countdown.
Thank you.
All right, until we come your way on Monday, do stay safe out there. My name is Afacho and have a lovely weekend.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.